So, I already filmed like a sort of half-butted version of this video, but I couldn't get through an hour of editing before realizing that I really should write a script and do this whole topic a justice. The question of the day is, should you buy a drone for videography? And while I can't give you a definitive answer because everyone is different, I want to at least be able to meet you at the station and guide you on to the correct train of thought. There's four main things that you want to consider before buying a drone. Number one, can you afford it? Drones are pretty expensive. Number two, will you use it? Are you gonna fly it more than once? Number three, what benefit will a drone actually bring you? And number four, the legality of flying a drone. What I want you to do is take a step back from the hype of having a new, fancy, expensive piece of technology to play with and to consider your answers to these questions on a scale of 1 to 5 and rank where you would sit in there. 1 being bad and 5 being good. In the end, if you have a cumulative score of more than 12, then I guess I would suggest that you get a drone, but again, this is really more a mental exercise than it is me suggesting you to make an investment. I'm just putting it out there. Let's start out with, can you afford it? This one's super straightforward, but also highly individual. Simply put, will the drone that you're looking to buy put a huge dent in your wallet? I'm guessing you've already done research on drones and you know how expensive they can get, but just in general, if you're looking at beginner drones, you're looking around $400, $500. If you're looking at professional drones, you can go all the way up to like 20 grand, but generally they're in the low $2,000 like area. Will $500 make you late on rent, or is it basically throwaway money? Rank from 1 to 5, 1 being honestly can't afford it right now, and 5 being money is no object. Now this step is especially important because if you answered 1 or 2, then you might already have your answer. It might be, a thing for a different time. However, if you answered 5, I still want you to follow along with the rest of this video because money isn't the only consideration here. Step 2, will you use it? Well, obviously you're gonna use it. I mean, why would you even be considering buying it if you weren't gonna fly it? But this question goes beyond that. Will you use it in a couple of videos a week or a couple of videos a year? Are you going to fly it out of fun or simply out of necessity? Are you looking for a drone because you know it'll be super cool to get some nice aerial shots on vacation this year, but you live in a city so you know that you won't be able to use it for most of the rest of the year anyway? Take these things into consideration when ranking from 1 to 5. 1 being you'll fly it like once or twice a year, and 5 being you'll fly it basically all the time. For reference, I fly my drone like 1 or 2 times a month, but I also use the footage all the time in my videos, so I'd put myself probably around 4 in this category. Step 3, what benefit will it bring you? This can be anything from fun to practical shots that you will use in your videos and you can't get any other way than using a drone. Think about if you need a drone shot to tell your story, or at least tell your story better. Drone shots can look totally cool, but they also have a specific purpose in most cinematography. Generally, drone shots are used as wide, establishing shots that give the viewer an idea of where the story is taking place. But you can also use drones to get the camera in different positions or different places where you really wouldn't be able to reach with even like a crane, if you want to get crazy. But you're not gonna throw your DSLR up into the air to get like a above shot. That wouldn't work anyway. You get the gist. Think about how you're going to use this thing and if it's actually substantially additive to your story. I think the best example that I've come across as far as a drone really adding to somebody's YouTube videos is in one of my videos about the drone. I can't remember which one, but I had a comment down below that was a fishing YouTube channel, and he was talking about getting a drone to fly outside of his boat that got a shot over the water of him fishing from his boat. Now, you wouldn't be able to do this with a regular camera, so that's check number 1, but it also serves a storytelling purpose. When you get that wide angle shot and you see the little fisherman in his boat on a big wide open lake or ocean or whatever he's on, and you don't see anything around him, it also tells the story of how he's alone in this boat and kind of insignificant compared to the big lake. So there is cinematography or cinematic uses for a drone. Just kind of consider how you might use a drone to make those artistic choices. Because even if you're a fishing YouTuber, That's what you're doing. You're making art and you're using some sort of storytelling or cinematography to make as good of a YouTube video as you can. So think about that. Finally, the step that not a lot of people like to talk about, let alone follow, especially in my case, but I'm talking about the legality of flying a drone. I'm gonna take a relatively vague stance on anything I say in this segment because I am not a lawyer and I really don't know what I'm talking about like half the time. So, you know, that I guess is my disclaimer to avoid me getting sued, but there's all sorts of regional laws surrounding drone flying, so you should definitely look up your local laws and follow those. I know in the United States, any drone over 250 grams must be registered with the FAA. That comes with like a $5 registration fee, not a big deal. It can just be kind of a pain in the butt to jump through all those hoops. But that's for recreational flying, and I think YouTubers should be covered under this. Not positive, but I'm pretty sure. However, if you like to fly under the radar, pun intended, then the DJI Minis series, they come in at I think $249, so you don't need to register those. Now, commercial drone licenses are much more entailed. I believe they carry a fee of like $250 to get registered, and you need to go through like flight school and exams and do all sorts of stuff to get licensed to fly for commercial purposes. The problem is all of these drone restrictions, they're just gonna get stricter and stricter and tighter over time. You know, things are never really gonna loosen up. We've kind of had the Wild West of drones for a little while, at least the years leading up to, I think 2019 was when the FAA really cracked down on stuff, but now it's important for you to check out those laws because, well, it might be a pain to register your drone that's like 500 grams and you gotta pay that extra $5 registration fee. The thing is, if they do bust you somehow, you can be facing, I think, up to $250,000 of fines if they determine it's a criminal offense. And I believe the fines start at $27,000. So they're not messing around. You shouldn't either. I guess just think of it as insurance. I know that I'm actually gonna be registering my Spark, which I can neither confirm nor deny that I hadn't done that in the past when I've been flying it. Once you research your local drone laws and figure out all the things that you'll need to follow, rank how painful all these laws and regulations are gonna be for you to follow on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being they're gonna be super painful, or not 1 to 10, 1 to 5. 5 being that they're not that big of a deal. Rank from 1 to 5. And that's it. Add up all those scores. You should have 4 different scores from 1 to 5. If you end up higher than 12, well then I guess I would suggest that you buy it. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't blame me if it turns out to be a bad decision. But I hope that this has more, puts you on the right train of thought as far as getting away from the hype of things like this new drone looks awesome, and then you completely forget about all the things that you're gonna have to deal with if you do end up buying that drone. If this video did help you out and you thought that it was just a lovely video, then I would very much like a lovely like. And you could also hit that lovely subscribe button down below if you would like to see more content like this on a regular basis. That being said, that's going to be all for me. I've got a lot of stuff to do, including editing this video, so I'm heading out. Thanks for watching. Bye.